One of the realizations you'd have, especially if you're a young person trying to make something out of his life, that could potentially save you years of wasted time, is this: that you are only supposed to put your plans on things that are within your control. In other words, do not make the fatal mistake of building plans around things that are outside of your control. Do you know why? Because anything outside of your control has a high propensity, right? There's a high chance that you're going to be disappointed. If you've done business for a few years in any terrain, you'd understand exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll give you a story. Sometime this year, right, at the beginning stage of our expansion, sometime around May, June, I closed deals, 2 deals worth close to, I think, 8.5 million thereabouts, right? Sealed and delivered, right? We have finished the agreements, everything done. All that was remaining was send the money for us to kickstart the work. So it was a case of, we closed the deal on Monday. I'm expecting payment Thursday, Friday. Everything is done. Invoice sent, agreements, everything done. Thursday, Friday, when they're supposed to send the money to pay us, they stopped talking to us. I said, okay, maybe something's going on. Saturday, nothing. Monday, nothing. 1 week, nothing. 4 weeks, nothing. 2 months, nothing. They ghosted. Those deals died. But do you know what? I moved on immediately. I didn't dwell on it. Imagine if I had built all my business plans around that money that was supposed to enter. Because we needed that money actually. For equipment, office space, and all of that. We really, really needed the money. But then I didn't build my entire plans on those 2 deals. As I closed those deals, awaiting payments, I kept running ads, kept reaching out, to prospects and all of that. Why? Because I understand that if you build your plans around things outside of your control, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. What is within my control? Being the best salesman, being the best CEO, being the best founder for my business as possible. What is outside of my control? The payment of clients. All we can do is send invoice. Them paying is dependent on them. So if I'm not building all my plans on 2 deals, have you seen how I'm setting up myself and my business up for failure? I also worked with another client sometime around May, June as well. A very interesting one, right? Because she's working at the United Nations at the moment. She was telling me the story of her previous job. She said that before she got her previous job, before she started working in the UN, she was in another job, and then a foreign company came for her. They told her how that she's everything they've ever wanted, and that they wanted to poach her from the company she was working with at the time. So seeing the foreign company, seeing the amount of money they were going to pay her as salary, she agreed. She signed the agreement, offer letter, everything done. All that they were waiting for was for her to resume work. She resigned from that previous job and was about to start working for this new one, remotely though. And they stopped talking to her. They were in no contact with her whatsoever, right? And they never go back to her again. So she became jobless for at least 3 months. Listen, you would have opportunity. There will be things you want to do. At every point in time, when you're in those situations, weigh the 2 options. Look at what you have control over and look at what you don't have control over. Focus on the one you have control over. A perfect example is if you want to start making content, right? And then your goal is to get 50,000 followers or 100,000 followers in 1 month. Good luck to you. 100,000 followers is not in your control. People determine what they use their time to do. People determine whether they're going to watch your stuff, right, or not. But then what you can control is your consistency. How many videos are you going to be putting out on a weekly basis? How many videos are you going to be putting out on a monthly basis? You can control that. So you build around that. This other one of getting 50,000, 100,000 followers is not within your control. So if you're focusing on the 50,000, 100,000 followers, you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment and failure. But if you focus on this, usually this other end comes as an after effect.